So, hello again, vinyl community. Bill here. And today we're going to be showing the roll of honor for my vinyl community challenge, which was entitled Elementary Dr. Watson, where I was looking for people in the vinyl community to show album titles, song titles, and artist names, band names that featured an element in the periodic table. So let me show or share a spreadsheet with you. You can see some of the entomology as well. So that was going to be quite handy for any of the bonus points. And I've also got the list of the symbols here. And then what I found that out of 118 possible elements, we managed between 9 of us to get 35. So almost a third, not quite. So it's not too bad, but yeah, anybody coming up with iterbium or yttrium or zirconium, that was going to be a bit of a tall order. I did think that somebody might try some of the Bill Vinyl logic and come up with A Kind of Blue by Miles Davis for Cobalt, but that didn't come along. So I like to thank all the respondents. We had Richard McCook, we had Rob Ison, Pete from Sounds of the West Coast, John from Melbourne, his channel's Down Under Tunage. Then these challenges wouldn't be complete without a response from Dale of Gatefold 33. And then Slambo of Slambo's Car of Idiots. Slambo gets an honorable mention for presenting his list according to Tom Lehrer's Element song. So he used each line of that song. And then we had Sean from Wales, S.W. Studio Productions, and Randy of Randy Nelson. So, roll of honor. We have in bronze medal position, Richard McCook with 21 points. You'll be really annoyed that he was pipped to silver medal position by Dale of Gatefold 33 with 22 points, but a fantastic response from Pete of Sounds from the West Coast. I think that's the West Coast of England rather than the West Coast of the US. And he got a fantastic 25 points. So thanks to everybody that took part. It's really appreciated, and I would strongly recommend that you subscribe to the channels shown. So thank you guys. No gals, but thank you all you gents who responded to the thread. So I'm now going to show some books. So this is a carry on from, or a bit of a response to Rob Ison, and he showed some books. I think it was called In Their Own Right. So some books that he really enjoyed about music and and record collecting. He showed 1,001 albums you should listen to before you die. So most of these books are not about musicians or bands, but really record collecting and things that have led me on a journey of record collecting from 1970 or the mid 70s when I was just starting. I picked up Deep Purple's Fireball was an early one, and then Hunky Dory and some Bill Haley and Bob Dylan's Freewheeling Bob Dylan. They were some of my early acquisitions. So the first book I wanted to show is Rock File 3. I think I've referred to this one before. This is great. It's got some nice black and white photographs of songwriters such as Richard Cook and Roger Greenaway. There's also Burt Bacharach and Hal David. And yeah, there's also, performers of the year, including Olivia Newton-John. But a lot of the books, the main part of the book shows in alphabetical order song titles of top 100, I think, singles. So for example, here we've got, Maggie May by Rod Stewart was number one in the States and the US in 1971. The bit that I really utilized, and some of these pages are falling out now, but they had a section called Charlie and Simon's Hot 100 Singles. And so we go from Rock Around the Clock. We've got All Right Now, Louie Louie, all the way through to In the Summertime and by Mungo Jerry, and covering the period 55 to 72. And then there was another section, and it was 100 essential rock albums. So there were sections on the birth and growth of teenage music, the Black tradition, blues plus gospel equals soul. Britain emerges from washboards through acid to world beaters. Then the sounds of the 70s split between black music, featuring Sly and the Family Stone's greatest hits, and reggae chart busters on Trojan, through to Talking Book by Stevie Wonder. And then Britain, we've got Roxy Music, we've got Pink Floyd and Sladist. So I think this, I'm looking to see, this was first published in 1975. Really good resource, this. And similarly, on the Penguin publishers, we have the Rock Primer. And this is, again, an excellent resource. The front cover features a sort of mini jukebox, and instead of the names of the records on the jukebox, we've got sections on rock and roll, folk and blues, soul, British beat, Dylan and after, punk, rhythm and blues, country, California sun, reggae, and a catch-all of the 70s. But this is great. Country music. We've got Hank Williams, 40 Greatest Hits, and Jimmy Rogers, a legendary performer. Dylan and after, they feature Highway 61 Revisited and Blood on the Tracks, as well as Simon and Garfunkel's Greatest Hits. Punk, you've got The Clash and the Sex Pistols. And then the 70s, Who's Next and Van Morrison's Moondance. So again, you can see the pages are well thumbed and falling out as a result. And then one more for really the more of an American bias. We have the Rolling Stone Record Guide, and yeah, heaps of albums with a write-up and ranked 1 star to 5 star, and illustrations of all the 5-star records. So they've got the Who's My Generation there, and they've got sections on the blues and jazz, etc., and 5-star records. So yeah, James Brown, the Carter Family's Happiest Days of All, Jerry Butler, The Best of Jerry Butler. So yeah, really good reference book. I think again, this came out in the mid to late 70s. And then another great resource. This is obviously pre-Wikipedia, pre-Spotify, streaming services where you can find any albums. And there was no online resource when I became a record collector, so I had to do it the hard way. We had to look at these highly recommended albums and then go to the record library and borrow 3 or 4 albums, take them home, listen to them, decide whether we really liked them or not, and then go back and buy the album if we thought it was worth parting with our pounds, shillings and pence, or later pounds and pence on the albums that were being recommended. This one was really good. Again, mid-70s, so concentrates mainly on 60s and early 70s albums. But Paul Gambaccini was an American who was on Radio 1, used to cover the American album charts, the singles charts. But in this album, he got various critics and musicians to give their top 10 albums, and then he compiled a list as well. So we've got Mark P. from Sniffing Glue magazine, very big punk fanzine, and then Annie Nightingale's on the list, and Harvey Mueller, Murray the K, Lenny K. In the back cover, you've got Paul Gambaccini at the turntable and the faders, etc. So yeah, number 1 was the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's. 7, 8, and 9, you've got XL and Main Street, Let It Bleed, and Abbey Road. So again, this is all falling apart. 18 is the Beatles' White Album, 19, Who's Next? So you take all these resources, and you soon figure out what the classic albums are that you need to have in your collection. And then just to finish this response to Rob Ison's thread, I've got a really great 10-inch album size book called The Art of Making Records. So lots of photos of album sleeves in here. So that's the Kinks, golden hour of the Kinks. And there's photos of Michael Jackson. There's Def Jam recordings, so things with Public Enemy, and It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, and the Beastie Boys. But I really want to, of course, there's Frank Sinatra and Louis Armstrong. The one I wanted to show you was, this is great. It also shows the technology. And look at that integrated home entertainment system. So you've got television. I'm not sure if that's in a black and white 405 lines or color 625. You've got the turntable and the radio tuner. And that looks to be a reel-to-reel in there. So I don't know how much that cost. It was made by, it's a deluxe Cuba Comet television cabinet, and it was made in Munich in Germany in '59. So great, love that. So really good read, Vinyl, The Art of Making Records. So that's it for, you know, the XE Factor results. Congratulations to Pete from Sounds from the West Coast, and thanks to everybody that put forward a response video, much appreciated. And I've created a playlist which I'll put a link to in the description, so you can see the responses by all these wonderful YouTube video makers who rose to the challenge. So thanks again, guys. And it's bye from Bill in an overcast Aberdeen in Scotland. But yeah, we'll see you next time for more fun and games and things about collecting records and music that we all love. Bye just now.